Welcome to the Lake Show, where you can find out what's going on in and around Lake Loudoun. This show is brought to you by Fort Loudoun Lake Association, a nonprofit environmental conservation organization that keeps Fort Loudoun Lake safe, clean, and fun. I'm Angela Howard, the Executive Director of Fort Loudoun Lake Association, and I work with zone managers and an in-house scientist who remove trash and debris daily, educate the community on pollution prevention, and monitor stormwater and the health of our stream. And today we're going to have a whole lot of fun because we're going to make fun of me. I don't know if my readers or my audience read Metropulse, but I just wrote an article in the Lake Life, go run out and get this, called What's Up? What Sup? S-U-P. And today I'm very privileged to have Travis Vaughn from River Sports, who is going to actually talk me through, as if you are one of me, on the first time ever on an SUP, which stands up for Stand-Up Paddle Board. This has become the craze of Knoxville. Is that right, Travis?
Absolutely. It's taken off quite a bit here in the last few years.
Well, a few years. I was talking to your marketing director, Laura, and she said just since October, it's gone like gangbusters.
This year especially. It's something that started out in Hawaii.
Yeah.
With the wealth of surfing knowledge out there. And
yeah.
Has moved across to the West Coast and then the East Coast, mainly in coastal cities and towns.
Florida and such.
And the last few years, it's been making real leaps and bounds in the inland waterways as well.
Inland waterways, which would be our wonderful Lake Loudoun, which doesn't have waves, thank goodness, like the ocean for my sake, I think.
Makes it a lot easier to get started.
And we're going to get started today, but not yet. A little bit about the history, because I was able to call the woman who owns the store, the YOLO store, down in Florida, and she told me, but you probably know the history a little bit better. It started out in Hawaii, but about in the 50s. Do you remember why? Like, who was the first person and why they did it?
Actually, I don't.
Oh, well.
I know it was. The surfing community. I can't remember quite the name.
The reason why, I'll tell you why, at least what she told me, was the photographers that were taking pictures of the surfers had to get themselves out in the water, near the wave, but they stood up to get a good angle, and then they had to move, so they borrowed somebody's paddle, who knows what, and paddled. And so it became this necessity. And of course, as humans do, they make it something fun.
Absolutely.
And then when it hits America, of course, it's got to be commercial.
Absolutely.
And so I can't remember her name, but down there at the YOLO store, she told me that her husband was one of the first people to actually commercialize it, meaning that they would rent these things, these paddle boards, and the big paddles to adventurists.
Yes.
Now you have adventurists at River Sports, don't you?
Absolutely.
Water paddlers, right?
Water paddlers, hikers, climbers, everything.
Yeah. Today we're kind of focusing on the water. How long have you lived in Knoxville?
I've been in Knoxville just a little over a year.
Oh, so you're a newbie.
I am a newbie.
Well, what do you think of this lake and this river?
I love it. It's a great resource. Beautiful, large lake that has a ton of different recreational opportunities.
Right. Where'd you move from?
Moved from Kingsport, Johnson City area.
Okay, so not too far away.
Yeah, not too far away.
You have lakes up there, right?
We do, yeah. It's all part of the TVA system.
Oh, it is. I think you actually...
Watauga, and several other smaller lakes up there as well.
So here's a philosophical question with an environmental twist.
Okay.
How important do you think it is for those of us who live on a beautiful lake, which actually is a river because it does flow, yes, to keep our part clean?
Oh, it's very much important. Any impact that we have as far as lakeshore litter and debris, water quality, it makes a large environmental impact. So it's just fish populations and the health of the lake is very important to have good cleanliness. Right,
fish populations. That, by the way, my folks, in the next Metropulse, which is coming out this week, which is the second week in June, is all about fishing, believe it or not. Yeah, so it is one of the things in Tennessee. I grew up here in Knoxville. I actually grew up right on this river, and it was a river back when I was a young girl, and it was not as clean as it is now. We've done a good job, I believe, and can do a little better. But how does it affect a paddler? I mean, you're obviously a paddler because you're going to you better be a paddler.
Absolutely.
You're going to teach me how to do this, right?
Absolutely. The biggest effects that it has on paddlers is just safety of getting in and out. We have a lot of debris along the sides.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to get in and out, and also floating debris in the middle, always obstacles to avoid.
Right. And how willing do you think somebody is going to want to get into the river if there's stuff floating from people, like in our beautiful park? This is Ned McWhorter Park, and it's a great ramp to put in, and the Knoxville Rowing Club allows us to, at our own risk, kind of use their docks here. But if people leave their trash along the side, and there's a lot of picnickers here in Tennessee, and they get up and walk away.
Absolutely.
I mean, can you imagine doing that?
No.
No trash in, no trash out.
No.
Right. Well, anyway, I love this beautiful, beautiful lake. It is absolutely gorgeous. We have the downtown Knoxville behind us and the volunteer landing. And I do believe that we have some development that's coming up, which is great. But even just now, it's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Are you glad you moved here to Knoxville?
Very much so. Yeah, it's been a great city, good place to live.
Yeah.
Smoky Mountain's close,
Yeah.
plenty of streams to get out and play, fish.
Yeah.
It's been great.
And you know, having this this lake as an asset is really different, right, for a lot of cities,
Absolutely.
and all the recreational things. Yeah, you've been able to do a lot of that.
Fair bit. I've been fairly busy with work, but I get out every chance I get.
What do you like best? Kayaking, paddling? I don't know, water skiing? I don't know.
Kayaking and fishing. Mainly.
Yeah?
I do a lot of fly fishing. So.
Oh, you do? And you know you can do that from your kayak, I guess.
Absolutely.
Now, what about people? Because in my article, actually, there was a picture of a guy fishing from his paddleboard.
Absolutely. It's a great way to fish. You've got good, fairly stable standing platform.
Yeah, we're going to see about that.
And good freedom of motion, so you can get out and cast, have a good view of the water. It's an excellent way to get out and fish.
All right, so you can do all kinds of things on this paddleboard. First of all, just let me encourage you to get out on the lake. Get in the water, stick your toes in, go fishing, have a great time. If you don't have to be that courageous, because you're going to watch me master this for the first time, and I really want everybody to remember this is the very first time I've ever stepped foot on a paddleboard is going to be on this water here in just a few minutes. Okay, what kind of safety issues, what should people wear? Give me the beginnings.
First and foremost, just comfortable clothes, something that it's not going to hurt to get it wet.
Right, because am I going to get wet?
There's a fairly good chance.
Okay.
But it's actually something that with a decent sense of balance is really pretty easy to pick up.
Uh-oh, you said decent.
Decent. It doesn't have to be a great sense of balance, but a decent sense of balance helps a lot. Then with any body of water, on any kind of craft, you'll always want to have a life jacket, personal flotation device.
That's essential. Everybody should have a personal flotation device.
Not only is it the law, but it's always just a very prudent idea.
Now, I did want to ask that. Is that the law? I know in motorboats, but in all paddling boats too?
Any type of watercraft, you legally have to have a PFD on the boat or board within reach.
Okay.
Anyone under 16 legally has to wear it all the time.
So I could actually have it on the front of the board?
You could, absolutely.
All right, but I'm going to put it on. So we're going to start the whole process now, and I hope that my mic goes through with this. Okay. And then what? So comfortable clothes, things that can get wet. I took my shoes off, but you say you could wear like a Keen or an outdoor shoe or not?
Absolutely. And since we're getting in off of a dock,
yeah,
you don't really have the issues of sharp objects, things to cut your feet on.
Because Fort Loudoun Lake Association has done a good job?
Absolutely. But if you're getting in from the shoreline, rocky shoreline especially, it's always a good idea to wear shoes just to protect your feet.
Right.
And then really the only other things that you need are a board and a paddle.
And a sense of balance, he said.
Absolutely.
And he used the word decent sense of balance. All right, are these things pretty heavy?
They're not very heavy.
They look big though.
They're somewhat bulky to carry. Your typical stand-up paddleboard is going to weigh in the neighborhood of anywhere from about 25 to 35 pounds.
Oh, okay.
Some of the plastic boards are a little heavier, but It's really remarkably easy to transport.
All right, so I'm going to tell the audience a bit. You want to start putting this in the water?
Sure.
Okay. And bear with us, y'all, because we have microphones on. So I do want to say that there's many benefits. This is from writing the article. I'm going to find out. One is it's peaceful, it's beautiful, it's a beautiful way to get out onto the water. But apparently it's a great workout, a fantastic workout. Yeah, and I will let you know. You work out your entire body, they say, from the neck down. And kayakers now, I think some of them are turning to paddleboards because it's something different. I mean, they're already paddling. Fishermen, talked about the fishermen. And now I know that there's classes, and I believe River Sports offers these workout classes on Wednesday nights.
Yes, we do workout classes. We also do basic discovery classes, which are kind of centered around those people getting out for the very first time.
Like me.
Come out, absolutely.
Okay.
Come out and teach you basically just how to get started. So before you step on, really a lot of times the easiest way to get started is to start out on your knees. And you've got right there at the handle should be the center point or the balance point of the board.
Okay.
So if you basically straddle that handle,
Okay.
you're going to have a little bit of motion side to side, and that's going to be the majority of your stabilization, or the majority of what you have to fight against.
Okay.
Front to back, you can move forward or backwards to adjust the way the board sits in the water. But typically starting out, if you stay right in the middle, that's going to be the most stable place.
Should I try standing up?
Once we get you out, you can go ahead and try standing up. Yeah. You put your hands down in front of you there, just like that. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's my
Now,
first time.
typically you're going to want to go ahead and take the paddle.
Okay.
Your most stable point is going to be to have that paddle blade in the water,
Okay.
because it gives you a little something to resist with.
Sides?
Your direction is going to come from paddling on one side or the other. So if you paddle on the right, I will come in after you, yes. But so if you paddle on the right side, that'll turn your board to the left. Paddling on the left will turn to the right. And you'll be able to feel it all throughout your legs and your core, just using your middle of the body to stabilize. And to turn around, come to us, you can actually exactly paddle backwards on that side. And that'll turn you around to face us. Yeah. Oh. Okay.
This is great. Everybody should try it. Everybody.
Absolutely. It's something that pretty much anyone can get out and really do. Takes a little bit of practice to really get super comfortable. But once you do, it's a really great way to get out and enjoy the water.
I'm crawling off the thing.
All right.
Is that the way you do it? Or yeah, I guess you
Sure.
can step off.
Yeah.
Oh, on phone.
It's a very easy way to do it.
I did it. Okay, picking up Mike. Okay, I have got to go to closing. I know we have used up most of our time. Travis, thank you so much
Oh, you're very welcome.
for coming out and doing this. Y'all, you have got to try it. So let me say thank you for joining us today. And remember, what we do is REM. We remove trash and debris daily, and bugs over our faces. We educate the community on pollution prevention, and we monitor water quality and stormwater management. Remember, you can donate and help us keep our guys on the lake, keeping it clean at FLLA. AKE.org. That's Flake with 2 L's.org. I'm Angela Howard. Thank you for joining us.